show you, I've had quite a bit of questions or people wanting to know about my fancy little branding iron. I'm going to do a little demonstration. I have some cork here and I also have leather, and I'm just going to kind of show you what I've come up with. It's all new to me as well, but it's kind of interesting. So the first thing that I have, and this is my experience already, was I'm very, very glad that I bought the rheostat that goes with the branding iron. It is sold separately, but what this does is it controls the amount of heat. I've been playing around with it over the last about 2 hours now, just kind of letting it cool down, letting it heat up a little bit more. And I think I have found a fairly happy medium. So right now I'm sitting at, with my rheostat, I'm sitting at roughly about 4.5. And at 5, I really, no, I wouldn't say that I burnt, but it took very, very little. Yeah, I did sort of burn it. So this is what happened, and I held a little bit too long. I had to be really, really careful with it. And even this one looks a lot better, but my lines, everything is pretty thick. This is one that I've just been playing around with. This one I think I did a while ago. So this is one, it was obviously a little bit cooler. It just gives me a little bit more control. I can hold it down for a little bit longer. So that's what I found with those ones. So I've been playing around with the heat. If I didn't have it hot enough, when I was sitting at 4, that's what I was getting, and I was holding it down for quite a while, and I just wasn't getting it. I'll also show you this one. This is what happens if you don't have even pressure when you're pressing down on it. I mean, and it's not super sensitive, but you just have to make sure, like I kind of not really rock it back and forth, but when I press down, I just kind of make sure that I got everything nice and firm. And then this is the last one that I did. I think that I have my heat set fairly. So I'm just gripping my branding iron. I'm going to try and get it straight, because what I want to do is I want to kind of practice so that I can even actually have my leather cut out first. I would like to, in an ideal world, and when I get that good or learn that much about everything, I'd love to be able to cut keychains out and stuff like that out of leather and then be able to brand them after. So I want to try and work a little bit on my positioning and making sure that, so if I had this cut out already, that I'm getting it nice and straight. And there I go. So you can kind of see I rocked it back and forth a little bit, and I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, I'm going to play around with that a little bit more on the leather, and I'm also going to show you what it looks like when I stain the back. All I have right now is black stain, but I've played around with it a little bit and it does look kind of cool. So just going to set that aside. Now I have some cork here as well, and this is interesting. I need to get some plain cork. I don't know if this is going to show up very well. I can't tell in my little viewfinder here whether you can see this or not, but I will get in there a little bit better as well. But this is, I was playing around with this. I don't have anything that's just plain. I only have the stuff that has a little bit of pattern to it. And this is some rainbow cork. I've got one in here right now. And what I'm finding with the cork, I'm leaving it at the same heat setting at 4.5. And it's almost more like it I guess, what do you call it, deboss. If it presses in, it's not embossing where it brings it out. It's kind of, it's not actually melting in, but it doesn't really burn it. Well, it sort of does, I guess. On the natural cork it does. So I'm just going to play. I'd rather have a piece that is a little bit more natural. So what it's done, maybe, yeah, I think you probably can see that, is it has darkened it a little bit, so you get that kind of that branded look. But more than anything, it's like it's just pushed down. So there's a lot of texture to it. It's really neat. I'm liking that. And I'll be ordering some cork that's a little bit more plain, just to be able to do that with. So here I have a piece. This is chocolate brown cork with a little bit of gold fleck in it. I'm not sure exactly which way this will look the best. I've got a fairly plain piece up here. Well, the heat went through. Now, can you see that or not? Again, it just kind of pushed in. That is really neat. It almost looks more like a stamp, but maybe that's what cork does. I don't know. It is really neat. Doing it this way on like a cork purse or a cork wallet, especially a wallet, this would be really cool on the outside, because it's not like in your face, but it's definitely there. Really neat.